Sir, welcome to Logistics Shakti Podcast series. My name is CV Kumar. I am hosting this particular episode of the Logistics Shakti Podcast. Thank you, Vohra Saab, for being present here and giving a wonderful keynote address during the opening session today.
Thank you.
And it's a pleasure to have you here. Sir, we live in a very uncertain and volatile world right now. And multiple crises and happening across the globe which affects the supply chains. How do you see that that we navigate as supply chain professionals these kind of uncertainties?
So let me tell you, this supply chain uncertainty which is happening right now is basically for the Middle East only. The cargo which is going to Europe, US, and other places, Australia, New Zealand, and all, that's still flying there's no problem at all. The cargo, whether it was going by air and sea to Middle East, that's being affected, because the flights were cancelled, the shipping lines, they were not taking the cargo, plus the cargo which they took from internal ports like Calcutta, and it was supposed to go to Middle East via Bombay. The cargo was offloaded in Bombay, and couldn't go. Similarly, the ships which already took the cargo, from Indian ports, they didn't touch Dubai or Middle East ports. So they went to somewhere else and offloaded the cargo there. The main problem was for those containers which were not offloaded at a particular destination. Air freight also, flights got cancelled.
Yeah.
And the impact of that was there on European and US carriers also. Because from India, there were a lot of airlines who are, Middle East carriers like Emirates, Etihad, and Qatar Airways. They have a lot of capacity out of India from all the airports, even South airports and all. That got affected. And the result was that the freight rates had gone up, which had impacted our export trade. Because the people who have booked orders at the old rates and all, and if they have to pay more freight rates, that's what created a lot of problems. Of course, now things are improving. The flights have started operating, but not to the full extent. But still, there are a lot of flights which are being operated now. But the impact of the rates are slowly coming down. Once the flight starts, the rates will come down to the normal.
Okay, so that's a very positive news to have now. The flight rates are coming down is a positive news. So, sir, what would be one shift which you would say we should prioritize as a nation for making us to be very cost-effective, logistics-wise, cost-effective and very efficient?
The main thing I'll divide that into 2 or 3 different things. Now, the main first point is to create infrastructure. Right now, we talk about air freight, we talk about ocean freight. Air freight, the airports are not sufficient to handle cargo. You have to create air freight stations outside the airports. Plus, we have to break the monopoly of the airports. Right now, they are in a monopoly situation. Whatever rates they want to charge, they can charge because there is no competition. We have no choice to take the cargo somewhere else. But if, like ocean freight, there are ICDs and CFSs, in India, similarly, air freight stations, if there are 100 in India, then there will be competition. And the rates will automatically come down. Like ICDs, there are so many ICDs. Now, if one ICD doesn't give me good rate, I go to the other. I go to the third one. Similarly, in air freight, if I have a choice, I can clear my cargo with XAFS or YAFS or DAFS, I'll definitely negotiate the rates. But today, with the monopoly thing of the terminal operators, I have no choice. I have to go to their thing. Now, other thing is the way the export is increasing, the government should allow more and more freighter airlines to come in. Right now, we are more dependent on the passenger aircraft with the belly capacity. Now, if the way the country is increasing exports and made in India policy, more and more freighters have to come to India. Now, there are certain policies of DGCA and BCAS which needs to be changed, which needs to be looked at. In India today, the government is not allowing freighters which are more than 25 years old. Now, generally, when the passenger aircraft gets old, they are converted into freighters. all of the world, countries are allowing more than 25 years old freighters to come to India. Why there is an exception in India? Why DGCA wants? We have taken up with the ministry, with civil aviation, and they're looking into it.
Okay.
Now, other thing is, like, there are a lot of imports coming into India by air for Bombay or for, South. Now, they said you have to fill up only from the station where the aircraft has come. Supposing it has come to Bombay, only Bombay cargo can go back. Now, lot of airlines and we as an industry, we are asking the government to give us double dick pay. Now, the cargo is coming from Bombay. If they do not have export cargo, then they should be allowed to come to, Bombay and Bangalore or Bombay to Delhi to pick up the cargo, which of course they are now considering. And very soon they'll be allowing, double dip. That's what the demand of the airlines and the industry was.
Okay.
Which we took it up with the civil aviation, and they are really looking into it.
What is up? Very interesting point you raised now, that there has to be more competition for air freight, and air freight stations should be there. So do you think this idea of, airports exclusively for cargo, where there is no passenger movement, only with AFS, would that, something which will work in an Indian context?
No.
Okay.
The thing is that more than, 70% of the cargo, 80% of the cargo goes on passenger flights in the belly capacity.
Okay.
Now, freighter capacity is very little. And freighter capacity, the freighter can only operate when there is inbound and outbound cargo. And if there is only one side cargo, then the freight rate cannot compete. But as a passenger flight, it has to come to Delhi to pick up the passengers. Now they have to carry the cargo. Otherwise, that's a perishable space. If the flight goes and no cargo, it's gone.
Okay.
You can't get it back.
Okay.
So it's like a perishable thing.
Yeah, I know. That's
the passenger aircraft, they carry the maximum. And for the airline, I think more than 40% revenue comes from the passenger aircraft cargo.
What is given your rich experience with both the government, customers, customs, and all the entire ecosystem players, how do you see companies now reshaping their logistics and supply chain strategies and functions?
See, let me tell you, as far as, customs is concerned, when they got, on the systems, previously it was all manual. In 95, they started the computerization.
The EDI portion.
The EDI process and all. Yeah. And now 90% or 100%, is on the systems, More than 85% of the cargo is cleared when you entered ice gate. Through ice gate, RMS, they clear it. You just have to take the cargo, put it there, and that's all. 10% is examined, by the customs and all. The customs has really, I must appreciate, they have really changed a lot.
Okay.
I must appreciate that.
Okay.
They have really gone out of the way to help the trade, and they are simplifying a lot of procedures. The problem is that there is no unified system. The terminal operators, they have their own system. The customs, they are working on their own system. The airlines working on their own systems. What we require is a unified system where all the stakeholders come together.
Okay.
Now, everything is fragmented.
In silos.
In silos. You have to enter the same data at one place, second place, third place, and all these places. And that's where they have to think. Of course, the ministry is really thinking on it. How long it is going to take, that's up to them. But the trade requires one system which can be used by the exporters, the bankers, everywhere,
So what you're talking about is basically an integrated supply chain management system.
Yeah.
And you think that is on the anvil now, or is there?
It is happening. It is happening. We as a trade, I represent, PhD. I am a co-chair for SHM Civil Aviation Committee. I'm on Indo-American Chamber of Commerce, FICCI, FIO, and even, AEPC on the board. So I attend all the meetings on behalf of the trade. Even I was past president of Air Cargo Agents Association. I still represent FFI, which is Freight Forwarders Association. I attend all the government meetings. So we keep pushing these things, and I hope that very soon they'll all be resolved. course, we are trying very hard.
Do you think there is an opportunity for a private player to come in and do this kind of what you call integration of data from various sources? Or maybe something which association can take this up on a priority basis?
See, they've asked us to, show the software. We have arranged with one of our, Akai Air Cargo Agents Association. They got this consolidated software prepared about 8-10 years back. Now they have, shown it to the ministry. They're looking into it, and they're working on it. There's another association who have also shown them the system. Their government is also working of their own. So let's see how it goes.
So, sir, closing words from you about the logistics transformation that's happening in the country now.
Let me tell you, things are improving, but not at the pace which we require. The way the things are happening, the whole trend of cargo is changing. Today, e-commerce is getting very, very active. Now the government is promoting the persons, the ladies sitting in the village to promote their stuff and put it on the export side.
Yes.
These guys, they do not know anything about logistics. They are looking at e-commerce. They can put it go to the system, send their parcel and all. The e-commerce thing is getting popular all over, and that's the future. Now that we have to see that how we can give more, emphasis on that, more space required for them. Custom procedures have to be changed. The duty structures have to be changed. All those things will definitely change the future. And air cargo, yes, there will be, a lot of scope, a lot of freighters will be coming. I give you an example. Today, you take the example of, this iPhone 17. It's made in Madras and Bangalore.
That's right.
Now, the airport of Bangalore and Madras, were carrying more than about 4,000 tons. This customer alone has given more than that. So that's the future.
Yeah,
that's the future. Okay. And that's what we said. Airports are not sufficient to handle the cargo. Okay. I'll give you an example. In Hong Kong, 94% of the cargo comes ready for carriage from the air freight stations. Airport is just a transit point. Unfortunately, in India, airports guys, they have made it a money-making machine. They don't want AFS to get popularized because they are the one who is going to, get affected. They are the one who is going to lose the revenue. Yes. So that's where the government has to put force to make sure that like ICD and CFSs, AFS should also get popularized in India. That's
so, sir, to summarize your words till now, basically that there has been a lot of progress and a lot of new things happening, but the pace of the change has to be more faster. And specifically for the air sector, there has to be a rethink into the regulations, which allows more freight stations, which allows more freighters to come in, and rule changes to come in. So I think is what the message should be to the industry at large as well as to the policymakers at large. Am I right?
That's right.
Right. Thank you. Thank you very much, Vipin sir. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for being a part of the Logistics Shakti podcast event.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.